Hey, what's going on? This is Glendon, founder of Hustlers Kung Fu. All about making that money without a job. Today, we're going to get into something a little different, something a little salacious, something a little peppy, something with some serious juice. Business advice for beginners. Dry Dick Danny no longer lives here. And I'm going to explain to you who Dry Dick Danny is. Now, long time ago, in a land far away, there was this guy by the name of Dry Dick Danny. His dick was dry because he didn't have no lotion. And just for those of you who didn't really get the thumbnail, that lovely young lady is pulling some lotion out of that purse. Pulling that lotion out. Also, before we get too deep, if you want to save $450 today, get the Never Broke Action Pack, and you can jump into the e-commerce course that's coming up very soon. All right, so let's talk about business tips for beginners. We're going to go back to Broke Dick Danny and how he became Broke Dick Danny. Typically, you have people who believe in false narratives to the point of their own detriment. You have a degree, but you're living with your folks. You have a degree. You make $10 an hour. Alongside that kid who's at Chattanooga High School, who's making only 25 cents less than you do, but doesn't have the bills that you do. So really, that kid from Chattanooga High School is making way more money. So get off with these false narratives, right? That you need a lot of money to start a business, that you need to be connected, the government's going to give you, so Broke Dick Danny's head is just full of all this fake ass stuff, false things, right? So he's just, his ball is so dry in his shorts, his balls are coughing because it's just so dry there. Because see, Broke Dick Danny doesn't have any of that financial lotion. What we're going to do today is give you that financial lotion to get rid of those Broke Dick Danny ashy parts. Oh man, we got folks coming in here today. Let's see what we got going on in the chat room. Oh, I gotta scroll back. What's up, Greg? What's up, Shalise? What's up, Kirk? What's up, Leroy? Cocoa Covered Muscles, Pauline, Canna, Roosevelt, Mark Shapiro, Raquel, the Life Warrior, Nigel Pearson, Quans. Quans decided to stop by because I see this dude's face popping up all the time. Very interesting. Good morning. What's up, Sean? What's up, Lamode? What's up, Monica? AKW Beats. What's up, Douglas? What's up, Mike? What's up, Yolanda? 31 Dub. What's up, Carlton? And what's up, Diana? Now, part of the problems is with the Broke Dick Danny syndrome is you live in a world that is lied to you, and you believe the lies and you act upon the lies as if they're truth. Like, Broke Dick, Dry Dick Danny. Okay. Now, if Dry Dick Danny really knew how the world worked, his dick wouldn't be dry. But you have 50-year-old Dry Dick Dannies, 60-year-old Dry Dick Dannies, 80-year-old Dry Dick Dannies talking about, I could have been a contender, 80 years, just if things had fell my way. Typically, it's not about things falling your way. It's typically about things you create and things you work for, but people don't give you the right tools. So first step, if you're a beginner, forget all of this notion of you're going to quit your job just like that. That's just not probably in the cards. What you can do if you're starting a beginning business is work your ass off, and you're going to have to fundamentally change your life. Now, see, this is one of the reasons that hustler porn is so pervasive, because you don't have to change your life. You can just do this in your spare time, and you can be like me, making 6 figures, 7 figures a year while I'm on the beach with a fruity drink. That sounds appealing. Who wouldn't like that? Who wouldn't like that? I mean, seriously, that makes Broke Dick Danny hard. And, oh, that's funny. I said seriously and Siri popped on. That's some shit. That's funny. So you have all of that stuff and you hear it over and over and over, right? So you're thinking that that's normal. It's become a new norm for you to go from absolutely nothing to a lot of money, to the point where someone like me says, hey, broke Dick Danny, it's going to take a little time, but you can do it. It's not going to happen as fast as you think it will, but you can do it. It's going to be harder than you thought it was, but you can do it. Broke Dick Danny's like, I don't want to hear that, man. I want me some of that hustle porn. Kind of like that scene in The Matrix where the dude is, with his fork. Well, pretend that this screwdriver's a fork, visual aids. And he's like, I know this steak isn't real, but I like it. And I want more. And that's Broke Dick Danny. Because if you start a business on the side, and I'm going to, kind of give you my beginning business journey. First business failed because I didn't know what I was doing. Second business failed. I didn't know what I was doing. Third business failed. I didn't know what I was doing. Fourth business failed. I didn't know what I was doing. Fifth business failed. I didn't know what I was doing. But I always had a job. So in the military. And when I got out and I tried the lawn service thing, I was on terminal leave. For those of you who are not familiar with military term, it's like, you're going to ETS and you save up your leave so you can get out 3 months early and still get paid. So I had a check coming in. I've never been in that situation of not having money or a check coming in when I was working on my businesses. Never. So I go through all that stuff. Life stuff happens. I'm in the boarding house. I'm living like that. I'm living like a bum. Then I realized in the boarding house, me with the crackheads, that I needed to get a job, because I sat down and understood. It's like, how can you be salesman of the month, right? How can you be salesman of the month and still get fucking laid off? You're not playing the game correctly, Broke Dick Danny, because see, I was Broke Dick Danny. This is how, when I talk to you about these things, I know what I'm talking about, because I used to be you. I know how you think. I know how you smell. I know how you act. I know all your little dreams and false narratives. I know them because I used to have them. And I realized that if I could be making a company money and they still got rid of me, high performance wasn't the name of the game. Showing up on time wasn't the name of the game. Being a good employee, never getting in trouble, making the customers happy was not a part of the game, because there's some of you out there who are listening to this. You've done everything right. You showed up, you did the right things, you kept your nose clean, and your ass still got the shaft. Because the game isn't designed like you were told. So realizing that, I knew that I needed to get a better job, right? I need to get higher income. And I figured out early, and there's some of you who want to go from a $10 an hour job to 6 figures. And it is possible, but it's not likely. Like, it's possible you can win the lottery. It's not likely. It's possible the most beautiful girl in the club is going to come fuck you and give you a blowjob. It's possible, but it's not likely. So I started dealing with reality. I needed to make more money, because my problems all circulated around not making enough money. So I went on monsters.com and I looked for jobs that paid 2 to 3 times what I was currently making, because I knew I was going to need a lot more money. So did that, went through 3 jobs. I learned more, networked, and I climbed up and I raised my salary, climbed up. And then an opportunity that I had prepared myself while I had a job, when I was selling that furniture for that company, that popped up when I already had a check coming in, and that gave me enough critical mass cash to move to the next level. That was my broke Dick Danny journey, which was roughly 2 years. So it wasn't like I went from that boarding house to owning a company in months or weeks. That did not happen. It's not going to happen. I'm going to tell you some reasons why certain things don't happen. It's not because you're not talented enough, Broke Dick Danny. No. It's seasoning. You could get yourself in a position, right? But since you don't know how that position works, you've never been there before, you could fuck it up because you just don't have the skill sets to make it happen. It's just not going to happen, right? So that was happening to me. And as I became more seasoned by playing the game, Broke Dick Danny, that's how I started getting that lotion. That's how I started getting that financial ointment, that financial lotion. And a lot of people are not really understanding that because they get frustrated. If you start a business today and this time next year you're making just $1,000 extra a month, that's a win. But with hustler porn, you ain't balling out. You ain't hustling hard enough. You're not hustling your face off. You haven't sold. There's some other things. That's a win, because if you stay on that path, then year two you're making like an extra $3,000 a month. Then you're in a position where you can actually quit your job and then shit doesn't go sideways. And then if you keep your job for like 2.5, 3 years and you make it 5 G's a month on top of your job income, then you got a position of something that's called stacking. You can actually start putting money in the bank, and every time you look in your account, there's more money, like rabbits, like your dollar bills are rabbits, and they're fucking like ha 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 ha, and multiplying. You have to do things like that to get yourself some stuff. So that's the journey for a beginner. Now, I know this doesn't jive well with many of the things that you've heard, that you're seeing with hustler porn, where people are just literally going from Broke Dick Danny to Mac the man with all kinds of lotion, not a nasty body part. It happens. It happens, but that's the thing. And the reason I'm on Broke Dick Danny and Dry Dick Danny, because they're the same person. Because typically, if you have no money, usually you have no honey, unless you have really remarkable game. And once you start solving that dryness, you start solving a lot of other problems. So, oh man, what y'all got going on here in this chat room? Well, let's see. Hustler porn. I love to turn intellectual masturbation for the masses. That's pretty much it. AKW Beats. Oh, you just left Broke Dick Danny land? I mean, it's rough, man. I've been there. Nobody loves you in Broke Dick Danny land. I know Millie speak. I did the same thing. Terminal leave. Awesome. Folks be pimping, that push button snake all in a box. I had 72 days of terminal leave when I discharged. I had more. Now, this is why I had more terminal leave, because you're only supposed to have like 60. But see, I was part of stop loss during the first Desert Storm. So I was able to get more because they kept my ass in. For those of you who join the military, if a war jumps off and you're about the ETS, they're going to call you the pack or whatever your administration is called for your branch and say, hey, give me that ID card. Okay, thanks. And give you a new one with indefinite, no ETS date, but indefinite. And you're like, you're going to keep me forever. Man, y'all, this is funny. Let's see. To this day, I get carpal tunnel. I got carpal tunnel. I get them wet. I can't. The money. Show me the money. Honey can't have my money. Oh, you're funny. No ends, no skins. Money brings choices. Alvin, how important is it to establish business credit? You want to start a business credit? All right, I'm gonna actually. That's more of an advanced tactic, but business credit today is not like business credit of yesteryear. Yesteryear, you could be Broke Dick Danny and have knowledge, and here knowledge, right? But today, typically, a lot of your business credit that's not 30-day net, 60-day net, 90-day net, they're not gonna worry about your social. They're gonna worry about your company. But when you start getting into lines of credit, business credit cards, Chase, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, they're going to look at your FICO score. So it is best for you to establish cash flow and fix your personal credit if it's janky, or make your credit elite credit. Like if you have good credit and you do just a few things, you can turn your credit from regular good credit to fucking elite credit. And that's a whole different thing. So you need to work on the basics first, because that's why this whole conversation is for broke Dick Danny's, penniless Priscilla's. You got to get certain things correct before you move to the next level. Because if you don't get those things correct before you move to the next level, when you move to the next level and need them, you're going to hit something that's called pause. You're just going to hit that pause button, and you will not be able to pull it out of the ground because you just don't have what you need. What do you say to people who say it's good to keep a job for the healthcare insurance benefits versus being self-employed? Bruh, I've had that debate. I got the Usher blood in my family. Here's the thing. Here's the honest truth. You have, that was redundant. Here's the truth. You have self-employment and you're paying your own insurance. You're going to pay out the ass for good policy. That's just the reality of it. Once again, this is why I tell my young dudes to do this stuff while they're in high school, or while they're still on their parents' insurance, so they can go out there and flex out. I mean, it's a choice. I can't make that choice for you. Just know that a decent policy is going to cost you $450 up to $1,500 a month. You just gotta, my thought was make more money so you can do it. Just make more money. That was my answer. What online courses, trainings, books, masterminds that have helped you take the game to the next level? There's a gang of BS out there, but you're in the breakthrough mode. This is going to be really, really funny. I did not, all right, here it is. When I started this, I didn't affiliate myself with anybody because, like you said, there was a lot of BS out there. And once I started affiliating myself with certain people, I started to see that people built their internet companies on relationships. So what I learned from masterminds and certain groups was there's a lot of people out there that have leveraged their money from relationships, which is not wrong. It is a solid, it is a durable, it's a good business tactic. There's nothing wrong with it. But when they're talking to you, and they'll do it right in front of you, right? But they don't actually say, okay, the stuff I'm telling you is good, but the real reason I made $7 million this year is because I went to all of these conferences. I'm in all of these masterminds. I got myself a publicist who introduced me to other people. They don't tell you that. That's how a lot of people. So that's what I learned, because if you know how to make money, you don't need a mastermind. I know I'm not supposed to say that on the internet, but if you know how to make money, if you have a firm grasp of business concepts, you don't need masterminds and certain things. You just don't need them. I know. Now, they're good to hang out with other people who are doing stuff, because one of the problems with masterminds is a lot of the free ones, most of the people aren't doing shit. So how can you learn? It's like the followers following the follower, the followers follower. Everybody's in that. Like, I'm in this group, and I'm gonna mention the name because I like the group, but there's very few people in there who actually put something down that helps me, because they're still in that beginning stage. And there's nothing wrong with being in the beginning stage, but I'm not getting any value from them, because like reselling, you got people right now in 2016 talking about shit that I dealt with in 2002. I mean, it was just like, I don't want to talk to you. It's like, all this stuff with the customers and fighting. I went through massive level of that stuff in 2002. So work on the fundamentals. If you can sell and build a business, you can do a lot. You can create your own mastermind. Lamode, I'm not quitting. I will keep going. It takes time. Daily Desire. I like that name. Last week, I sent thank you cards and poetry prints to all of my customers of 2016. I was inspired by your 30 days to $2,500 course. Woke up today and noticed that many of them reordered from me. All right, I'm gonna read that again because I know. All right, Daily Desire. Last week, I sent out thank you cards and poetry prints to all of my customers of 2016. I was inspired by your 30 days to $2,500 course. Woke up today and noticed many of them reordered from me. Okay. This is a old school business tactic. Like, when customers buy, it's like $500,000 worth of product from you. You send them a thank you letter, handwritten, and a gift. That makes you memorable. Well done, Daily Desire. Well done. What's up, Corey? What's up? I'm saying. What makes business credit more unique than individual credit? Business credit doesn't go on your individual credit report. So you can have, let's say you're balling out and you've got $450,000 worth of personal credit lines, right? Well, that can matriculate into $2 or $3 million on the business credit side. But it's not like say you wanted to buy a house, right? Like your business credit's maxed the fuck out. And then you go apply for a mortgage, and like you're say real smart and you're like an employee of your S Corp, right? And you put your paychecks in there, and they don't even know, because if they knew, you wouldn't get that mortgage. But see, that debt is the business debt. It's not your debt. So it's all legal for all you folks like, it shows a little schemy. Oh, no, it's you're a scared little bitch. That's all. Just know that. Listed to our best friend not to be broke like broke Dick Danny hustling forever. CJ, I too want to quit my job right now. I feel like I'm about 8 months away from that. I don't want to be dipping into my register just to pay bills because of a premature move. I mean, that's the reality. You know, I just told you, it was damn near 2 years. I was broke Dick Danny. I was disgusted. I mean, it was a bad time I want you to think about this. Let's just strip away all the bullshit. You bust your ass to do the best you can, and you steal or listen, we don't need you. Do you know how fucking demoralizing that shit is? I'm like, wait a minute. You know, if I had the little sad music, I'd cue it right now, because that's how I felt. I was like, okay, I can't do this no more. I can't do this no more. We got to start another way. But starting a business requires a lot of disciplines and a lot of skill sets that you're just not going to acquire in a few fucking weeks. It's going to take months or years. That's just reality. And anyone that tells you different, they're lying to you. They're just lying, because another thing with hustler porn is that they will insert somebody who's a seasoned business person. Like let's say you got a $2 to $5 million business already, right? And you hook up with me, and I can help you turn that into a $5, $10, $20 million business. And it's not because I'm so great. I would like to say that, but the reality is I have material to work with. When you have someone who has nothing, so they'll insert somebody who's already seasoned, who's already making enough money to live in a nice house, drive to Ferrari, and put that like, John here took my course. And it's true, you know, John doubled his, you know, they won't even say double his revenues. They'll say John made 3 million, but John was already making 1.5. Still worthy, but the whole thing is, and I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it again, the hardest journey is from that 0 to that first 100,000. It's a bitch. And then the next hardest journey is 0 to that million. It's a bitch. But once you cross that, whoo, the shit you can do. Savage wire. I mean, I saw stuff in those groups, and I was just like, I've been through this shit years ago. I don't want to talk about this. And that's just not me being elitist. That was just me being bored. Let's see. I'm glad I found your channel. 2006. I'm going to do good, but I want to do better in 2017. I'm in the process of paying down my consumer debt, expand my personal credit lines to better utilization. Yeah, best thing to do is just pay everything off if you can, and don't use it, and get to the point. You know, this is why I preach you got to make more income. I had a situation in the storage auction days where my car just fucking stopped, right? And I just went and got another one because I was making enough money to pay cash for a car. Now, if you are a regular person, your car stops working, that's a fucking crisis. If you got to drive 30 minutes one way or 45 minutes one way to get to your job, that's a crisis. So more income. And I know people are like, oh, money doesn't solve all problems. Okay, I know it buys a lot of happiness. I've seen it buys better health care, buys college educations, buys a better house in a safer neighborhood. So that's been my experience. Mike Page, no moving truck or crew or storage space. Lots of free nice furniture be given away on the net. Is it worth getting started? Uh, Go ahead to Gumroad and get the storage auction book. It walks you through all that stuff. So it gives you better ideas because that's just too much to go into right now. Let's see. What's up, Irvin? Even student loans? What do you mean? Let's see. Another open secret of hustle porn is that a lot of these cats are credit rich and they're very much established in business. So of course you can spend a couple of bands on media buys, Facebook ads, etc. Avery's peeping the game. Oh, um, I'm gonna say here's the thing. All right, I'm gonna give you some numbers for Irving and the student loan groups. Okay, let's say you're making $3,000 a month, right? And you're barely making it. You're able to pay your bills, but there's no money left over. Your goal should be to make 3 times your current money so you can keep up paying your minimum, have a third to save, because you got to accelerate. You know, when the plane takes off, burns like half its fuel, it's taking off and landing because those are such big moments. A rocket going into space burns like what, 70% of this fuel, just breaking the Earth's atmosphere. So for you to accelerate, you've got to put out a lot. Corey, I've been working on starting a speaking motivational business. Part of my issue is finding people who will pay for what I do. When do you stop accepting free gigs for getting paid? You're in one of the most competitive, one of the hardest business models out there because everybody on the internet, and I'm not trying to be insulting or marginalize you, is a speaker. Everybody's a speaker. There's expiring speakers. I mean, you got to get to Prince EA, Lester. Damn, what's his name? Lester. I can see his face, but I can't think of his name right now. You got to put so much content out there, and you need to go speak for free as many places as you can. I mean, you're going to have to actually triple your free speaking to probably get paid. I know it ain't what you want to hear, but that's reality. What's up, that guy, Alex? Erica, if you notice, lower C apartments have poor tenants with a bunch of cars. If you notice, lower classy, but why they keep those 2 older Huns in just case that first one goes down? Car down equals crisis. I mean, it's a necessity. I remember I was working at Northside Hospital and my car just exploded. And fortunately for me, I had a neighbor that worked at Northside and I was able to ride. We worked the same shift. So I rode to work with him for a month. It was just like, you know, because it was crazy. You know, I was been asked out. It seems that most people will try to help by telling me all the reasons when I'm doing won't work. The more I do, the more reasons they find for me to quit. Stop talking to them. Ignore their asses. Yeah, pretty much the only thing money won't fix right now is relationship problems and health problems. Actually, in the future, I think money's going to fix all those health problems. No, I have no tips. I don't recommend people do eBay. If you do eBay, do that. Do you, boo? I'll leave that alone. The life warrior. I'm in college. I want to start a business. What are your suggestions? Get started. Pick some. Start making some money. Service business. Yeah, I mean, you're just gonna, Corey. You're just gonna have to really hustle and make some very difficult decisions. Like, do I watch television tonight or do I work on my business? Les Brown. Thank you. Appreciate that. It'll say storage auction book. Les hustled. Les worked his ass off. Les for some. All right, let's talk about Les because a lot of people hate on Les, but Les has been doing public speaking for 40 years. You don't do public speaking and get paid for it for 40 years by accident. It's not an accident. You may accidentally do it for a year or two, but for 4 decades, bruh, that's skill. That's skill. Here's the scenario. What if your plane is flying freely? How do you accelerate from that? create another plane. How do I get started with the business? What business? You got to be real specific on what you're talking about. The storage auctions work in Miami. The storage auctions work everywhere that there are people. You know, before the shows came on, I had heard stories because we had people move to Atlanta from other states, and they were just saying that things were just so different where they were. Like California was like the holy grail. I heard a guy, he would move from Miami. He found like a Rolls Royce in the unit. So it's interesting. Look what Erica said. Colleges set aside budgets for speakers. The verse, she should hit up those colleges. Yeah, I know. Some people do hate on Les Brown. I mean, he's successful. That's all it takes. He doesn't have to do anything wrong. He's just successful. Steve Harvey, another person who's hated, but he's been making money for about 4 decades now. Here's the thing. Success is not that complicated. It's not that complicated at all. Success is finding out what you can do well and knocking it out of the park. But many people are looking like, here was a question that I ignored. I want to build a business, but I want to make money while I'm on vacation. You kind of got to stop thinking about the vacation stuff. All right. It is so hard when you're building something to get momentum, and then you've got momentum built, then you go take a vacation. Okay. This is another thing with hustler porn, because you always hear this is like, we're taking a vacation, we're doing this stuff. I know I took 7 days off and I was feeling weird. In the military, there's a term where they don't let you take too much leave because you lose your military bearing. And I'm just like, I don't know how these people are wired. Maybe that, you know, sitting around not doing shit really makes their dick hard, but it bores the fuck out of me. It drives me crazy. But if you're starting a business and you want it to be successful, maybe a 3-day weekend here and there, but like a 7 or 2 week vacation or some bullshit like that, it's probably not going to do well. It's just not. I'm just letting you know. It's probably not going to do well. Les Brown was in the game before Anthony Robbins. Yes, he was. Alvin, how do you know when the market's when a certain business market is too saturated to succeed in? There is no such thing. I know. All right. I want you to think about your town, and you go to one of the busiest intersections, and there's a service station here. There's a service station here. There's a service station here. And you see this all the time. There are 4 service stations at this intersection, and they're all making money. There is no such thing. Now, there's going into a saturated market with a poor ass business plan and getting that L. Yeah, that happens. But no, there is no such thing. If the market's saturated, there's a lot of money. You just have to differentiate. So, I mean, that's the big thing. Yeah, I mean, that's really the thing. I'm thinking of starting a drug company, a hedge fund, or a pet sitting company. What's your advice? Do you have an extra 5 million laying around, and are you connected with people on Wall Street? Because if you're not, I don't know about that hedge fund. I really don't. Drug company, do you have about 10 million laying around? I don't know about that one either. Pet sitting business, hey, you can. That's not a business. That's a hustle, unless you hire people. What's up, Heron Father? Yo, thank you. I took your advice to start a mobile car wash business. The marketing part is hard. Yeah, that's where the money is. It's in the money. It's in the marketing. Ganji, I work for the U.S. Navy as an engineer. Those active service guys like to do nothing for what I see so far. Yeah, I mean, shaman is real big in the military. So yeah, not at all. Okay. Hey, I mean, if you got that juice, do it. I just know a guy who works at a hedge fund, and I see what he goes through. He's got a limit. His job is to buy companies around the country, and his limit to buy a company is 10 million. His boss flies to work in the helicopter. So, hey, you got it like that, roll. How do you start a business selling intellectual property? Beats? Be really, really good. You got to be really, really good, and you got to push that. Yeah, I mean, okay, here's the thing with, drugs, because I got a client and we were looking at some stuff. When you start dealing with certain things, you bring in the FDA and all these other things. And just like say you want to sell cookies, right? Online. Every state, well, dog treats, let's say dog treats. Every state that you sell those treats in, you're supposed to legally have a farm license or some kind of certificate from that state, and they're supposed to have the lab results of your product on file. And that's just dog treats. You start talking about certain things, there's a lot of money, a lot of regulation. You start talking about pharmaceuticals, I mean, it could take you 15 million to make one new drug or more. So, Ebony, are some businesses more dependent on a strong middle class than others? Are their marketing tools get around those issues? Yes, there are some businesses that depend upon an upper middle class, and if you don't get to those people, you're not going to be there. But those are small. I mean, like people who sell Bentleys, I think it's 250, 450, something like that. I mean, there's only a certain kind of people buying that, and there's enough of them for Bentley to stay in business. Ferrari, Tesla, same thing. What do you think of the 10x rule by 10x rule book by Grant Cardone? I have not read it, so I can't really give you my viewpoints on it, but the philosophy that you have to overwork, I agree with wholeheartedly, because if you want to have something, sometimes you got to do way more than you think you have to do, and that really distracts people, because a lot of people are just they're not even trying to do what they need to do for that certain point. They're just trying to they're trying to underperform and be over rewarded. So when you start talking about you're going to work 10x times as hard, you're going to work 20x times as hard, people like start checking out. 100%, Sean. The more the government gets involved, the more expensive and complicated it will get. That's a guarantee. Yes, 100%. When do you recommend getting a lawyer to write contracts? If you have a service-based business, how do you make sure you get money from your client? Oh, that's real simple. You don't need a contract. You need to get paid. Talk to your client and say, look, what are you paying for cleaning service? And they'll tell you maybe, and it's like, look, I'll do it for $200, $300, $400 less, but you got to pay me at the beginning of the month before I do the work. Hey, that's one. There's a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways to do that. I sell my beats online, and people say that my market is saturated. I used to believe that until I took the uncivilized profits now, and I've been making money every day for the last 2 weeks. Oh, we're going to get into with uncivilized products. Let's see, where's my notes? Because we're going to get into propaganda probably today or tomorrow. So this is going to be deep, because there's something that happened. And I should tell you, I'm not putting these courses together to put them together to get just to get it over with. I'm not working like that. There's some stuff that I'm waiting for to happen, because with uncivilized profits, this Donald Trump and some other stuff, and something else that's just happened with that's going to blow your. I mean, it's going to be deep as fuck with uncivilized profits. And for those of you who want uncivilized profits, give me a second and I will put it in there, because you just can't go to the website and buy it, because it's a beta course. And I don't, and I've learned my lesson that when I put something out beta, people don't read. You eBay folks who put out these long descriptions, and then people buy it and realize that, oh, it doesn't do what it said, and it was in a description. They don't want to blame their own non-reading asses. They want to blame you. So uncivilized profits is a very, very different kind of course. But when we get into this propaganda thing, it's going to blow your fucking mind. So for whoever wants uncivilized profits, let's see, get rid of that. I'm going to give you a link here. Because another reason I do these streams, because you know, and I really appreciate you people who come every day, is the people. Let's take AKW beats. I sell my beats online and people say they took that my market is saturated. I used to believe that until I took the uncivilized profits. Now I've been making money every day for the last 2 weeks. That uncivilized profit, they ain't much there. But, you know, we're going to talk about value in a minute. I'm going to put this in there. For those of you who want uncivilized profits, you can hit that link. Once the stream is over, that link is gone. Let's go back. Is I sell stuff based on value because AKW Beats, he stays with uncivilized profit. You know, he paid, I don't know what he paid because it changed the price. It's currently $250, but he continues to make money for 3 years from what he learned in uncivilized profit. He spent whatever, let's say he spent 1,000, but he didn't. And he makes 10 G's later. What stock is fucking doing that kind of appreciation? You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, AKW Beats. And another reason I do this is you see some stuff. You see a lot of people there who are taking the courses, never broke, changed their name. You're seeing people and they like the courses and they're getting benefits. That's another reason to come to the streams. I see McDonald's and Burger King's closed down, and Gary blew my mind. No Caucasian money being spent, poverty-stricken area. Here's the thing. If you have an urban, dense area, people are lazy, okay? So if I got to go to this business over here, which means I'll have to go down the street and make a U-turn, they're going to go to the path of least resistance. That's why you can have a restaurant or something on every corner. They may have that taste for Kentucky Fried Chicken in their mouth, but this Burger King over here is easier to get to. They'll go to the Burger King. There have been studies on this. So that's the thing. I mean, Keelan, I read the 10X rule, just take massive action. There, I summed up the book in one sentence for you. Okay, I appreciate it. Dave X, I have 3,000 now. How would you invest it? I would not invest it. I would put that money in the bank, create a service business or something, and try to get up to 100 G's so you can do some real fucking investments. Okay, I'm not picking on you, but when you see this stuff, because I used to read Kiplinger's Money Magazine, what to do with $1,500, what to do with $3,000, what to do with $5,000. This is what I'm going to tell you, and call me being elitist, I don't give a fuck. I noticed when I started making $20, $30, $40, $50,000 deposits in my business checking account, my banker knew my name, even though we'd never been introduced. 20, 25,000 is when people start getting real interested in you. Anything less than that is bullshit. I know I'm not supposed to say that, you know, it's just whatever, and parlay. All of this stuff and this propaganda that is designed to keep you happy with bullshit. It is designed to keep you happy, because if you really, really knew just how fucked up it was, there would be anarchy in the streets. There would be riots. We already have a civil war. It's an intellectual civil war, but we would have real shit in the streets if people knew. So yeah, get more money. That's not going to, I mean, you put 3,000 in a mutual fund and you let it sit there for 40 years and you got 30 grand. You take $3,000, you get yourself a mobile detail kit, you bust your ass for a year, you got 100 grand. I mean, I just get, it's just like, you're not an investor with 3 G's. You're not. I know I'm being elitist and shit, but I'm going to tell you the truth. AKW Beats is about finding your audience. Yes, it is. Yep, people would rather work 40 hours for a company than own one. Les Brown was talking about overworking your plan goals 30 years ago. Les Brown, like I said, for Les to be around this long, that is skill, that is not luck. And let's just be real. When Les got started, black folks were being hung in trees in Mississippi. And Les Brown's audience has been primarily white people. That's fucking skill. I don't hate on people with skill. Kean, I have a service-based business. I'll set them up on subscription business. Best way billing? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Rugged College, please tell me, how did you get to know so many people in certain high positions, being that long ago you were homeless? I was homeless damn near 17 years ago. So we're talking about going on 2 decades. You all know how I started meeting people? I started meeting high profile people. This guy, Matt Bass, who worked for Starbucks Commercial Realty when I worked at Rental Crate. I started meeting these people when I became a salesperson. I started meeting more people when I started doing high level deals. When you are trying to sell a company 6 figures in office furniture, you're not going to be talking to, usually you're going to, if it's a small company, you're going to be talking to the owner, or you're going to be talking to a partner or somebody. So you just start, I mean, sales. The next stage of me meeting people was this YouTube channel. Its activity will get you in the door quicker than anything else. I can call up someone right now and do this. It's like, hey, my name is Glendon Cameron. I own Pop Dog Media. Hey, I sent you a link to my YouTube channel. And the reason I did is I went over your website and I see you're firstly getting no traffic. And then I went to your Facebook and really no one's liking your Facebook page. And then I kind of checked out that, you know, on your personal Facebook page that you kind of posted light. Is that because you're working 12, 14 hours a day because things just aren't really coming the way that you need to? Well, I have a solution, and let's sit down and meet. And part of the solution will cost you nothing. I'm getting that appointment because I'm talking to a business owner in a language they're going to understand: time, money, and value. So it essentially putting myself out there. I mean, I've told, I don't know how many people this. If you write a book, you become a micro celebrity. One book, you can go anywhere and say, I wrote a book, and everybody be like, oh, really? And super nice people be like, where is it? I want to support you. What is it on Amazon? They'll pull out their phone and order it right then and there, just to be nice, because they can say, I met an author. Writing a book changed my life. Writing 2, whoo, and this stuff that I'm gonna pop off in 2017 is gonna be wow. Edward Lewis, do any of the do any of the wealthy individuals you interact with not respect how you achieve your money, old money versus new money? I really don't know. Let me think about that, because I know one of my boys, he's old money. I can't really, I mean, they treat me nice. I don't, you know what? I guess since I don't know, I'm going to say that's a no, but I will say a lot of broke people that I know disrespect the fuck out of me. I don't know about the old money versus new money, but yeah, I really don't know. That's really interesting. I've never thought about it. I've never had that. When I would meet someone and we would talk, you know, say, look, I wrote a book, I started a YouTube channel. They're very interested, very intrigued. I can get the number, I call them and pick up the phone. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. The lifer, what kind of business can be started at a low price then scale to big size? Think Fortune 500. Selling soap, Procter & Gamble, selling shampoo, Tide, food services. If you want to be a billionaire, you need a product or service that serves millions of people. Millions of people. So, you know, like me, this business is not going to serve, quote, millions of people.